There's this product that's making Etsy sellers 5 figures a month, and I don't think this is talked about enough, or some people might say it's too competitive. But I've seen a store that's just started last month and is killing it with this product. So this could be a goldmine if you do it right. A big thanks to Gelato for sponsoring this video, but more on them later. So the product we'll be covering today is simply wall art. But not just any random wall art, but I'm going to show you 3 specific designs that are selling at least 5 figures every month. Now, before we get started, I just want to say that this product can be sold as a digital product or as a print-on-demand item. So you do have that flexibility there. So let's dive in. Number 1, we've got this listing selling this large canvas print. And according to Everbee, they're bringing in about $8,500 a month with this. Now, if you go back to the listing, you'll see that this revenue number is based on the cheapest option here, which is the smallest frame. And I assume that a good number of customers will choose the bigger option because this is pretty small, right? So I'm pretty sure that they're making more than 5 figures on these. Now, the typical profit margin for these is about 30% from my experience. So just being conservative, they could be making $2,000, $3,000 a month with this one listing. And what makes this more interesting is that this listing was just published 1 month ago. So when people say things are competitive, I mean, you can just see the data. Now let's go back to the store and you can see that this is a Christian themed store. So all their products are targeted for one specific audience, which is really smart actually, because you're going to have a more loyal following and you can potentially offer multiple products to the same customer. And that's exactly what they're doing. So you see they've got many Christian themed posters here, and they also sell a sweatshirt here with a similar theme. And this particular product is making $15,000 a month. And that's crazy, right? So that's the power of niching down and targeting a specific audience. Now, what I like about this concept is that you can sell your products in digital format or even physical format using print on demand. Either way, you're not dealing with any inventory. As you can see here, this sweatshirt is a print on demand product. Now, if you look at the digital prints here, the only thing I would add here is probably the option for the customer to print this out on a frame. I think most people who buys these products would want it framed and they're going to hang it on their walls, right? So having that option is just a no-brainer. There's no extra cost to you to provide this option because you can connect a print-on-demand provider like Gelato for free to Etsy and they'll automatically take care of the printing and shipping. Now, I took a step further in my research and found that they also have an Instagram account here with quite a large following, 228,000 followers, which is quite impressive. And if you click on the link here, you can see that they also have their own website. Now, if you've been listening to me for a while, you know that I like to always diversify my income sources. So for this one, they've got a successful Etsy store, but they've also built a large following on Instagram and TikTok that brings traffic to their own website. And this is actually not hard to set up. And today is really easy to build a website. And you can even connect Gelato if you're using sites like Shopify. The seller knows the importance of being diversified and not to rely on one single platform for all their sales. Now, the second idea. Now, you've probably seen this one before, but the reason I want to show this to you because if you set this up correctly, it's something that can be passive and sustainable for many years. So this custom portrait painting is making about $11,000 a month. Now, if you see here, the revenue is based on the $20 price here, which is the digital file version, right? So they have other options as well. So if a customer wants it framed, it's an additional cost for them and you can see it from the options here. So we can assume that that's easily more than $11,000. Now, if you want to sell these things, I always tell you to be unique. Don't copy other sellers, sell something different. And this is a great example on how to be different. So this store is selling the same concept, couple portraits, but they've got their own unique watercolor style. And according to Everbee, they're making $26,000 a month. Now, what I like about this one is the fact that they charge per number of figures. One figure is $19 here, and 2 figures, $32. I mean, it's a couple's portrait, right? So I assume that most people would at least go for 2 figures. And you can even choose if you want half body or full body. So that's another way to increase your average order value. Now, for those of us who are not watercolor artists, there are many AI tools that can actually do this for you. So you can use tools like Styler.ai or Photoshop's generative AI to do this. I actually did a video on this a while ago, so I'm not going to go into detail on this. Now, I mentioned in the beginning that this could be passive and sustainable. And how's that possible? These are custom orders. Well, the answer to that is outsourcing. So the key to scaling any business is finding repetitive tasks and you want to delegate them to other people. Yes, it will cost you a little bit more, but it frees up your time to grow your business. Because it's impossible to scale if you're doing every single thing in your business. Just like this one I found on Fiverr that charges $10 for this. Now let's go back to the store here and you see that they have to fulfill 570 orders per month. That's 19 orders per day. So I can't imagine doing 19 orders every single day because I would have just created myself another full-time job. So definitely delegate where you can. Now let me show you real quick on how much you can actually profit if you're using a print-on-demand provider like Gelato. So let's take this listing just for example, and they're selling a couple of frame options. Let's just choose this one, 24 by 36. It'll be $140, right? And let's look at gelato and let's look for wall art. And I'm gonna just choose a simple one here, not even the cheapest one, but let's just take this one, classic wooden frame. And so if I go 24 by 36, which is the exact size from that listing, my cost would be around $93, as you can see here. So if you do the math, that's $47 in profit, which is about 33% profit margin before Etsy fees. That's not bad, right? Now, if you're using a print-on-demand provider, you always want to check for two things. So number one, the price, of course, right? Make sure that the cost of the product is still reasonable where you can have a healthy profit. Number two, the quality of the product. So if you're selling wall art, you want to check the quality of the frames and the material of the canvas. This way you know exactly what your customers will be getting. So last week I actually ordered an actual wall art from Gelato to see the quality. And this is not a couple's portrait, but something abstract that I think will look good in my living room. So I ordered two prints, 24 by 36 frames, and they came in a box already assembled and they're wrapped in this protective foam. So packaging wise, approved. And I'm also quite happy with the product, the printing quality, the color is deep and not washed out. And by the way, this is called the classic wooden frame with matte finishing. It's not the most expensive option, but I think this is already pretty good. Now, the best type of frame really depends on the kind of wall art that you're selling. So if you're selling something more upmarket like this one here, I'd probably go for the premium poster with museum quality matte paper. You'll get a bit more texture on the canvas, so it feels more premium and high-end. And obviously, you will charge a higher price on this. So it really depends on your target audience. And in terms of delivery, I received this in about 4 days from the day I ordered. So I'm pretty happy about that as well. Now let's talk pricing. Gelato is completely free to use. It's $0 forever with a free plan. So you can sign up right now and try the tool for yourself. You can even start selling print on demand with Gelato on the free plan. But once you're getting some sales, I think it makes a lot of sense to go for the Plus plan because you get 10% off their products and you get access to all their premium mockups. Now, since I'm a Gelato partner, if you sign up using my link below, you can try the Gelato Plus plan completely free for 30 days. Plus, you get 50% off your first order. Thanks Gelato for sponsoring this video. Now, this third one here is similar in that it's also a personalized product. And these birth flower portraits, they've been blowing up recently on Etsy. You can sell this in different formats like mugs, sweatshirts, tumblers, but I want to focus on wall art today. So if I run Everbee here, you can see that the market for birth flower alone has a massive demand. I mean, just look at the revenue numbers here, but let's narrow down to wall art. So this is the bestseller for birth flower wall art, $22,000 a month for this listing alone, and they were just created 3 months ago. And again, this revenue is based on the smaller size, so it's going to be a lot more than that. Now, again, if you want to get into this, you have to come up with a new style, offer a unique angle. So if you go and offer the same design, you can copy this guy's, it's going to be very hard to compete. Now, I found this design, it's a birth flower as well, but in line art design. So I think this looks very minimalist and it's more aesthetic. Now, I'm going to show you how you can produce something like this in just less than a minute. So today I'm going to use Kittle to put this together. So I'm going to create a new project and I'll just use a bigger size, like 24-36. Okay. So now the first step is to obviously to upload a flower design. I already have a sample flower design ready. So just going to upload it here and drag it to the artboard. Now, since this is a JPEG image, I'm going to convert it to a vector file so it doesn't get pixelated when I stretch it because you want to allow for that option when customer orders a big frame. Now, to do that, I don't need to go to a third-party website because I can just do it right here. So I just click on this icon here to vectorize. That's it. Now, if I stretch this all the way and all the lines are clear and they don't break, so that's good. Now, I'm going to choose a background color here. Maybe this green here. I think that looks good. Now, I'm going to change this to white so that we have that contrast. Now, if you feel that the lines are too thin, you can even add a border here. You can play around with the border weight as well. Change it to white, obviously. And I'm going to add some names. Maybe Miranda, James, Jason. I'm going to pick a handwriting font and also add the name of the family. And I'll choose this font here. And that's it. Now, let's say I want to add maybe a bird on the flower. Now, for this, I'm going to use Kittle's AI to create that drawing for us. So on the left, click on Kittle AI and I'll just write hummingbird. Now, we have many different options on the style of the output. But for this one, we want a line art design to match the flower. So click on this and hit generate. Oh, that looks good. I'll just place it somewhere here and just resize it. Perfect. So I think this AI tool is quite handy. So you don't need another subscription to Midjourney or another AI tool if you just need a quick image, right? So that's one thing I like about Kittle. Now, once you're done, you can just download it to your computer and you're done. Now, I think it's good to educate yourself by watching videos just like this one, because that's exactly how I did my research as well. But after talking to so many of my students, I found that the biggest challenge they have was actually not the product idea or the sales strategy, but it was taking the first step to start the business. People are waiting for that day when they find the perfect product, perfect timing, under perfect conditions. That day will never come. Look, every business is trial and error. Everybody you see online that you probably envy, they fail before they succeed, because I lived through this myself. So I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably not going to be an instant hit with your first product. But the sooner you fail, the faster you'll succeed. Because business is about experimentation, trying different things, and refining those that work. So don't be afraid to start, because imagine 1 year from now, you're going to look back and you're going to thank yourself that you took that advice and started. So thanks again for watching, guys. If you want to see more videos on product ideas, I think you're going to like this one here. I'll see you in the next one.